Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with The Mandalorian. Last time on The Mandalorian, we had the spies, where basically all of the Mandos united to go and retake Mandalore. And along the way, they actually met with more Mandalorians who had stayed on the planet all this time since the Great Purge by the Empire. And so they all teamed up, and eventually they found the Great Forge of Mandalore. However, it was being occupied by Moff Gideon. Din Djarin was captured, Paz Vizsla stayed behind so that everybody else could escape, and died, unfortunately, to the Praetorian Guard. But he went out like a friggin' hero with his honor. So yeah, things are a little rough right now, but I'm very curious to see where we are going here in the finale. So, why don't we just go ahead and jump right into this episode of The Mandalorian. Here we go.
Come in.
I copy.
Jeez.
Moff Gideon is alive.
He's trying to go up on his own.
Our homeworld as his...
I'm entering upper atmosphere, but I have my orders. I'll return when...
Oh, God.
Axe.
I can't believe he's going through the atmosphere just on a jetpack. Ooh. Alright, good job. Oh god, that's gonna be hot. Ooh. Oh!
No.
Oof. Good job, kid.
Will you cut me loose? Yes.
Alright.
Thank you for your help.
It is a good idea to give him that.
Are you with me?
Alright. Let's go!
Sir, the fighters and bombers have launched. Their capital ship will soon be destroyed.
But the Mandalorian has escaped.
The Mandalorian.
Shall we engage?
No, I'll take care of him myself.
Oh! Time for round 2 No, round 3 with them.
You're gonna have to scomp into the base and get me the location of Moff Gideon's command center. Sorry, I don't speak binary.
No.
I'm counting on you. R5, how are those schematics coming?
How are you supposed to know? You don't speak binary.
Got it.
Okay, good.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, R5.
The scouting party has been ambushed by Imperial remnants. They're launching fighters to destroy the fleet.
Proceed. How shall we proceed?
Load the gauntlets and send all available troops down as reinforcements.
Okay,
Leave
good.
The admiral ship behind as a decoy. Bo-Katan needs our help.
I'll take care of the cruiser. Everyone go. Move!
Go! Go, move!
Alright, good. Well, at least he made it there. Ooh, good slide. Ah, damn. Just missed him. Oh god, Axe is doing all this by himself.
Deactivate the first shield.
So those guys just stand there like all day?
Open the shield! Open the shield!
That sucks. They just have to like stand there until they're called. Oh! Good job. Oh, didn't get the gun.
Working!
Oh! Now he's got another weapon. Oh my god. Why are there just bottomless holes here? This hallway sucks. This is like the part in the video game when you need to reload on all your weapons and stuff. Maybe get some new stuff before you tackle the boss. Ooh! He finally got a weapon. Like a gun. Woo!
R5. Good job, buddy.
Oh no, more mouse droids. Oh, bye. Now, what is in here? This is the cloning stuff. Moff Gideon wasn't cloning himself, was he?
That's not Gideon.
He has been cloning himself. Don't wake up. Dang it, it woke up.
Let's go.
Oh god, they're exploding.
We'll be safe down here a while. We've taken refuge in these surface caves since the Purge.
Oh, it's quite lovely down here.
You found underground gardens.
No. We planted farms.
Hey,
These are the old species indigenous to Mandalore.
you really can
Dormant
rebuild.
Since before the centuries of civil war. Once the planet was abandoned, they sprouted in spots. We cultivated farms. Life persists.
Life, finds a
I've only
way.
ever seen gardens in the domed cities. I never knew the surface could still sustain plant life.
All they need is room to grow.
Lady Kryze, your reinforcements have arrived.
Yay! Ah! Good, she's going down too. Ah! Lead with the Darksaber. I love she always just has her friggin' tools. Oh! Ah, man, I love a good flying battle. When do we get that in Star Wars?
My clones! We're finally going to be perfect. The best parts of me, but improved by adding the one thing I never had. The Force.
That's what he was
I was
doing.
isolating the potential to wield the Force. And you smothered them before they could draw their first breath.
Ugh. Then it's a fight. Round 3, asshole. He doesn't just have armor, it's like an Iron Man suit, really. Oh, crap, I forgot about the Praetorians. But hey, get yourself a weapon, man. Ooh. Woo! Ah, knee rockets. Come on. Remember what Luke taught you. Ooh! Sweep the leg. It didn't work. Sweeping the leg didn't work. Ow! Ooh! Back up.
I've got this. Go save your kid.
Got it.
What's it gonna be this time? Surrender? Or fight?
Come on, you got this. Oof. Oh! Good job. Ooh, nope. Just keep pushing them away. Oh! Oh! They keep shooting their legs. Woo! Good job, boys.
You did good, kid.
Oh no, axe! Damn, he held out.
Bo, Koska, come in. I'm coming in hot. Clear everyone out.
Oh god.
Take out the base.
Oh! Oh! Oh, did he break the Darksaber? No, the Darksaber!
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Oh, shit. Oh! A good 2v1. Oh god, he's really just gonna crash! Is he just gonna stay there? Okay, yeah, good. Get out of there, man. Thank God. Oh god. These are really testing their best guard today. Oh! 3v1. He's shielding them from the fires. Damn. Oh. Yeah. Might be a bit tuckered out after that. Alright, I think you got him that time. Goodness.
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors
that I shall
Ragnar.
walk the way of the Mandalore.
that I shall walk the way
Oh yeah,
of
he didn't...
Mandalore.
Did his ever get finished?
The creed shall be forever forged in my heart. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. I hope that's Grogu's first words, is "this is the way." Oh my god, it is!
His parent gave permission. Couldn't he then become a Mandalorian apprentice?
Yes, but his parents are far from here, if they are even alive.
I don't think you're getting what I'm... You're not picking up what I'm
Then
putting
I will
down.
adopt him as my own.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Let it be written in song that Din Djarin is accepting this foundling as his son.
Aw, sweet.
Let's
make it official.
Din Grogu, Mandalorian apprentice.
Din Grogu. This is the way. Ah, that's so cute. And somewhere down in the depths lies the beast. Oh. The Great Forge is lit again. Oh, there's the N1.
You don't have the resources to protect the Outer Rim, let alone hunt down Imperial remnants. And I need work.
Let me get this straight.
Hmm.
You want to work for the New Republic?
Well.
On a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
An independent contractor.
Freelancer.
You know, this is against regulation. It'll never get approved.
Which is why you won't tell them.
Ah.
Let me think about it.
He works with you.
You already did.
No one else.
It's a good deal and you know it.
Is that so?
All it requires is
It's a pretty good deal.
Greetings, citizens. I am IG-11, your new marshal.
IG-11.
Your new marshal of Navarre.
This feels like the end of the show. We got another season at least. Oh, he has a house. Oh, that was nice. Alrighty. It's weird in that picture that they gave the armorer a gun when she doesn't use guns. Alrighty. The Mandalorian Season 3. That is it for Season 3. Goodness. Well, I think they finally did it. I think they finally beat Moff Gideon. Finally. Finally. But honestly, it is very strange, because it's like, honestly, this feels like you could end the show here, you know? Like, that was like a classic Star Wars ending, you know? That was a classic Star Wars ending where everything works out. The good guys get their thing, the bad guy is defeated, and that's it. You know? And you know the funny thing too? I've heard people that haven't really cared for this season. Overall, I really enjoyed this season. I will admit, you know, overall, it's probably not as strong as the other two seasons, but still a very fine season, honestly. But that just makes it funnier. Excuse me. That just makes it funnier because at that point, it's exactly like the original trilogy, you know? Like, you've got the first season or first movie, which is really, really good, and, you know, has its own kind of style from everything else, and is really interesting. Then you get the second one, the second season, or the second movie, where we kick things up a notch, you know? We kick things up a notch, we start getting into some big lore, we get some interesting moments, and characters are separated at the end. And then you get the third one, which overall is not as good as the second one, but pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. You know, you defeat the villain, things work out. It's just that instead of spending 40 minutes at Jabba's palace, we did that in the Book of Boba Fett and we got our person back, you know? So, yeah, honestly. So, it makes you question what's next, you know? And now the thing is, we have very obvious what's next, you know? We have Din Djarin and Din Grogu. I love that. That's really funny. But we have the two of them going off on their adventures, working with Captain Teva, which is great. Which, I gotta say, it's so interesting that there's now this connection between Mando and Captain Teva, and it's like, yeah, the only reason that is there and he goes to Captain Teva is because we're not bringing Cara Dune back. We are not doing that. So, but yeah. But that's the thing. And so we have that. And we obviously have our really big thing from this season now, which is Thrawn, you know? Which, I like that idea. I like that idea now that Thrawn is our big bad guy, you know? Now, granted, the majority of this show, the big bad is Moff Gideon, you know? And he's going to remain that. But now, through this whole thing with Ahsoka and the Rebels crew coming back, and we know that it's going to climax in a movie featuring The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Like, that's going to be where those shows close out, is the movie. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're headed. Now we're headed to Grand Admiral Thrawn, and that's going to be our big thing, basically. So yeah, really, really good, interesting stuff, man. So yeah, I'm excited. I know they haven't actually started filming season 4, which is fine. They just released season 3. It's okay. But I know they were going to start filming season 4, but there's the whole writer's strike, so they've been taking a break for that. So that's good. That's good. I'm glad that they didn't that they're not just pushing forward without their writers or anything, because that would be terrible. And I feel bad for any show that is doing that right now. But yeah, although I don't even know if the writer's strike is over. I get the feeling it's not, because I feel like I would have heard something about that. But yeah, at the very least, right now, as far as I'm aware, it's still going on, and The Mandalorian is delayed because of that, and that is perfectly okay. So, anywho, so yeah, really interesting stuff in this one. We got round three of Din Djarin versus Moff Gideon. So, he finally figured some things out. So round 1 was Din Djarin versus Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter. That was a hell of a fight, wasn't it? That was interesting. Then, round 2, you had Moff Gideon using the Darksaber and Din Djarin using the Beskar Spear. Probably their best fight, honestly. And I understand, and I like, using the Beskar Spear for the chainmail that Grogu used. He still uses. At the same time, I do kind of miss the Beskar Spear. I just thought that was a really interesting thing for Din Djarin to have, because he doesn't have like a signature weapon aside from just his gun, and he kind of had that with the Darksaber, but it makes sense that he lost the Darksaber because it did not fit him whatsoever, like he used it because he had it, and he had to have it basically because nobody else would take it. But he definitely, the first chance he got, he was like, oh, I can get rid of this thing. Good. And the writers could too, unfortunately. But yeah, so this time around, we had... It definitely isn't just that he had Beskar armor, is that it was specifically a Dark Trooper, suit, plus being made of Beskar. It's basically being inside of a droid with, made of Beskar, whereas the Mandalorians just have armor. So that definitely gave him an edge over Din. And I will say, though, Din was tired. Din, he went through 10 fights before he got to that, so not quite evenly matched, but whatever. So yeah. But it also wasn't that. It was also the next fight between Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan. So that was also good, seeing that. And seeing that trio, basically, because I like that. Mandalorians are stronger together, which is true. It's definitely true. That's the entire point with the collapse of Mandalore, and the different warring factions and stuff. It's like, no. You can't do that. You just cannot do that, because it doesn't work. Like, a Mandalorian is a one-man army. But they're also one man, They're also one person. So it is better to have more of them, So yeah. So that worked out, and then you had Din, which I gotta say, his blasters when he came in and, was helping her fight, I don't know why, but his blaster, just the sound effects on that were really, really good. I don't know why, but that was good. And then the rest of it, Axe taking on the TIE fighters by himself, that was cool. And just the fact that Axe flew up through the atmosphere just with his jetpack, I was like, oh, geez, man. That was crazy, but he made it. He made it, and he made it all the way up there. And then used that and destroyed their base. That was so cool. Which, at first, I was like, oh, man, is he going to go down with the ship or anything? It's like, no, he's just going to... He had to wait till the last possible minute to, make sure it hit. And then he got the hell out of there, So that was good. R5, I like that little moment with R5. I hope that Din Djarin starts learning binary now. So that he can speak with R5 properly, because that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, it's like, oh, he doesn't know binary. It's like, because he doesn't like droids. He still doesn't really like droids, Like, he tolerates some of them, and those are only those who have, like, proven their worth. R5 is definitely one. IG-11 is another, So yeah, that was interesting. And then the little mouse droids. And okay, we finally learned why did Moff Gideon want the child, and why did he have Dr. Pershing, who was a cloning scientist? And we finally know why. He was making an army of himself, clones of himself, that could use the Force. And I will say, now that we have that answer, I don't know, like, we've had so much build up to that answer that I'm like, yeah, alright. That makes sense. It's kind of what we all figured, I mean, at the same time, there were theories of, throwing that in with, like, oh, somehow Palpatine returned and stuff. But, from what we got last episode, General Hux, or Commodore Hux, or what, Hux, the Hux that was there, was like, well, he's working on Project Necromancer, which does require Dr. Pershing, but Moff Gideon kept Dr. Pershing for himself, So, I don't know. But that was interesting. I will say, it didn't come across very well immediately that I was like, oh, Din Djarin just killed all of them immediately. He shut that down. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, it makes sense that he did that, but I just didn't pick up on that. And it's like, well, all that buildup of what Moff Gideon has been doing this whole series, well, that's over. Alright. I don't know. It's something where it's like, they definitely needed to give the answer of what Moff Gideon was doing, why he wanted the child this whole time. And they had to give that answer before he died, but at the same time, it's like, well, we have the answer. Anywho, it's just, oh, I was going to make an unstoppable clone army that could use the Force. Oh no. Anyway, so yeah, it's all right. It's all right. If that's maybe my one complaint about this whole thing with Moff Gideon, I mean, it's also just the fact that, like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I don't know. Like, having this to be like, all right, this is the definitive place where we defeat Moff Gideon. But at the same time, it's like, well, didn't we do this last season? I don't know. Could it have been written just a bit better? Sure. There's stuff in this season. If we had, even though I love Jack Black, I love Christopher Lloyd, if we had skipped that and given more time to develop this plot with Moff Gideon, that would have been great. But it is what it is, and I'm happy with what we got, so yeah. We got the Praetorians. Din Djarin taking on the Praetorian Guard, which is crazy. it's sad that we didn't get a moment of like mourning Paz, but that's all right. But I like that. I like Grogu going in and helping. That was good. And then, man, this is so sad. The destruction of the Darksaber. I guess you could probably salvage it. I don't know. I bet if you go to Luke Skywalker, he could probably help you salvage it, but at the same time, I like that it's like, okay, we don't need the Darksaber, The Mandalorians will, live together. They will rebuild Mandalore, but we don't need the Darksaber, Now that we've gone through this mission, we understand how we can get along, They can get along. They can fight together. They are all Mandalorian, Whether they walk the way or not, You don't need the Darksaber, but it is sad to see it go. I know there are those out there, one person in particular, who has never cared for the design of the Darksaber. But I will say the lore behind the Darksaber, ever since Rebels, honestly, because there was some stuff in the Clone Wars of, he who wields the Darksaber rules Mandalore. That was pretty much it. But I like the lore that they gave with that they gave it in Rebels, like that was so cool. And so the importance of the Darksaber is amazing, even if practically it is a very goofy looking blade, but it's really it is in terms of story, it's always a great thing. So it's sad to see that go, but it's kind of an exchange. It's like, well, we lost the Darksaber, but now we have the new Mandalore, so that's pretty great. I hope they don't have to like contrive a reason why Mandalore wasn't in the sequel trilogy, I would say just screw it. Just like the Mandalorians didn't show up. They didn't care, They're still busy doing their stuff. They don't give two craps about the First Order or anything. First Order, you know what it probably is the First Order was like, you know what? On second thought, let's not go to Mandalore. It's a silly place. They're like, we are not messing with the Mandalorians. Are you kidding me? So that's why the Mandalorians weren't in the sequel trilogy. There's your answer, folks. But yeah, other than that, Din Grogu, I really like that he formally adopted Grogu as his son. Which again, it's so strange because it's like you have the end of last season where it's like, all right, Grogu's leaving. He's off to go be a Jedi. And I will say just the how quickly they turn that around, How quickly they turn that around with the Book of Boba Fett. It's like, he's back. He didn't want to be a Jedi, screw it. He's back now. It's like, okay, but it all works out. Again, it's just, I wish things could be just a little bit, like, it's all there. It's all there. It just needs just a bit more time, You could also, I guess, throw that to the Book of Boba Fett. It was like, oh, well, that didn't work out so well. So, they kind of rushed this whole Mandalorian thing and Grogu. And now, we're sort of feeling aftershocks of that in this season. I don't know. But yeah, but he is off to be a freelance hire for the New Republic, specifically for Captain Teva. I like that. I like that it's, he's not going to, they're not going to formalize it with the New Republic. He's just going to freelance work for Captain Teva. So that's good. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. And honestly, I hope that's why they showed us Zeb in the last episode. It's like, oh yeah, here's Zeb, because next season we're gonna have Zeb and Mando team up. That's gotta be fun. That's gotta be friggin' fun. So I hope we get a moment where, now I'm hoping we get a moment where Ezra meets Grogu. I assume we will. I assume, because if we're continuing with Grand Admiral Thrawn into like the finale movie, I would assume that we'll keep the Rebels crew. Maybe. I hope so. I hope we keep the Rebels crew. Because I just love Rebels. Rebels is kind of my favorite Star Wars show. So I'd be really fine with that. But yeah, I want to see, even though we have, Grogu being choosing to be Mandalorian. I do hope we get to see some interaction between Grogu and Ezra as, another Jedi, basically, And if anything, I was going to say, it might work better with Ezra because, he was a part of a rebel crew and everything. Like, he's not going to be the same, Grandmaster Jedi that Luke is. But Luke was the same way too, Luke was originally the same way until he became, after the war, he was able to be Grandmaster Luke. Whereas Ezra's been gone, but I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, so that's it. That is The Mandalorian Season 3. Overall, I'd say it was pretty good. Not as strong as the first 2 seasons, but still pretty damn good. What did you think of it? You can leave that in the comments if you feel like. And yeah, we will be returning for Season 4 of The Mandalorian. Yeah. And I guess, I don't think I'm going to go on with Ahsoka and the movie, although it is tempting because, it's part of this series now, Like, I don't want to start... I don't really want to start any new Star Wars shows on here, but just continuing that sort of... just continuing that series. Like, okay, we're going to have Ahsoka, Mando Season 4, and then the finale movie. It's like... It's tempting, but I don't know. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Mandalorian reactions, as well as another playlist for all of my, let's say, I don't know, I guess just Bad Batch reactions if you want to go check those out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.